Climate change is already impacting cities around the world, creating new risks, exposing injustices, and challenging us to make our cities more resilient. At the Urban Systems Lab, we focus on advancing cutting-edge science that can improve decision-making for sustainability, resilience, and equity, from neighborhood to city, regional, and global scales. To do this means not only developing new interdisciplinary scientific approaches, but also working with designers and data visualization experts to communicate the science and make it actionable. We are creating a new urban system science to support decision-making at all scales, for transforming our cities to be more livable, more just, and more sustainable. Our work spans the globe. From New York City and other US cities, such as Baltimore, Miami, and Phoenix, to Latin America, cities in San Juan, Hermosillo, and Sao Paulo, to Beijing in China and multiple cities across Europe. We work globally with the IPCC, Future Earth, UN Habitat, and others to provide science to shift policy, but also to compare learning across cities to better understand what solutions work, where, why, and how we can better scale solutions from neighborhood actions to global impact. The core goals of the USL are to use science and design to help improve the lives of the most vulnerable people and ecosystems, to advance our ability to understand complex urban system dynamics, to develop systemic solutions, such as nature-based solutions, to adapt to climate change and build resilience, and all with a commitment to work with communities and neighborhoods as well as at city and regional scales to co-design policy, planning, and climate governance for real transformations. We take a systems approach to do this. What does this mean? For us, it means that improving equity, sustainability, and resilience in cities is taking the reality of the complexity of interactions between social, economic, ecological, biophysical, and technological infrastructure domains of urban systems seriously, and making progress across these domains and their interactions simultaneously. We work on a few major themes. For example, improving equity and justice. Historical legacies of injustice in our cities mean that low-income and minority communities are most at risk from climate change impacts and other pressing urban challenges. At the USL, we are studying these injustices and working with communities and city government to call attention to the climate justice challenge and to help prioritize where climate adaptation and resilience interventions should go. In New York, our work shows we have a lot of work to do, with over 800,000 people in environmental justice communities living below the 100-year floodplain. Our work on climate change is examining the future of flooding and flood risk in multiple cities. In New York City, we're bringing advanced flood risk projection modeling together with data visualization to provide decision makers with actionable knowledge on where flooding is likely to occur, and under multiple scenarios, including from extreme rainfall and coastal storm surge, to understand what critical infrastructure is at risk and where, and what populations are most at risk and most in need of protection. We are advancing the science of what drives heat in the city, what the future of heat and heat risk will be, and delivering this science at high-resolution scales to both neighborhood organizations and city agencies to enable them to spatially prioritize investments to protect the most vulnerable from current and future heat risks. To do this work requires advanced computation, working with big data and novel data streams, and using AI to help us learn from past changes to project realistic scenarios of the near and longer-term futures. We bring our advanced urban data science and computation abilities to better understand complex urban problems and to bring these advances to our work with local communities so that they have access to the same data and analytical advances that have mostly been available only to wealthy cities and the private sector. It's not enough to advance the science. We also have to communicate well. We developed the USL DataViz platform as an open, interactive online tool to support decision-making at multiple levels, to provide data more democratically, and to create a more intuitive interaction with the changing urban data landscape. We work with local community organizations, city governments, and many other top research institutions to advance the science and bring it to our work with communities as shared partners in co-designing ways to envision more positive urban futures, and to assess those visions and scenarios to identify pathways where we can align our efforts and invest in our people, ecosystems, and infrastructure to move more quickly toward the future we all want. We invite you to join us, follow us, and support us in making our cities more livable, more just, more sustainable, and more resilient.